Today is gonna be the best day ever, and I really mean it this time. Oh, who am I kidding? I always mean it.
SpongeBob Squarepants Titans of the Tide is the latest 3D platformer featuring everyone's favorite yellow sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea. If you are planning on diving down to help save Bikini Bottom as SpongeBob and Patrick settle the feud between the Flying Dutchman and King Neptune, there are a few things you need to know before you put on your jellyfishing gear. Here are 5 things you might not know about SpongeBob Squarepants Titans of the Tide. Although only SpongeBob's name is in the title, Titans of the Tide heavily features Patrick Star as a playable character as well. You can switch between the two best friends whenever you want with the push of a button, which you'll need to do frequently as you explore the vast, diverse environments of Bikini Bottom. While the pair are usually inseparable and share a lot of the same hobbies in the television show, SpongeBob and Patrick have different abilities that distinguish them from one another. As the king of karate, SpongeBob's abilities make him more agile during fights with the ghostly apparitions that have taken over Bikini Bottom. He can perform flying jump kicks on enemies during combat and on floating balloons during platforming sections, allowing him to soar to new heights. Patrick, on the other hand, plays more like a wrestler with his primary ability that allows him to pick up objects and throw them. While he isn't zipping around combat areas like his BFF, Patrick is a danger up close, since if a small enemy invades his personal space, he can easily lift them over his head and toss them into another enemy. Switching between the two characters is seamless, and it's always a joy to see how both characters will react to the different situations they're in. For example, SpongeBob stands confidently on the ghost surfboard that the pair use to quickly zoom around the map, while Patrick simply holds on for his dear life. Speaking of SpongeBob and Patrick, SpongeBob Squarepants Titans of the Tide features a staggering number of customization options for the duo. While SpongeBob has far more outfits than Patrick does, both characters are given plenty of classic outfits to wear that are featured in some of the most iconic episodes of the TV show. Outfits like SpongeBob's band director uniform when he performed Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl, his karate headgear, and his classic jellyfishing glasses. Patrick can wear his seaweed mustache from the original SpongeBob Squarepants movie, his blind beard outfit, and his uniform from his brief stint as an employee of the Krusty Krab.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No! This is Patrick!
In addition to the nearly 40 outfits for SpongeBob and Patrick, Titans of the Tide is packed to the brim with other references to classic SpongeBob jokes and episodes. Some references are simple nods during dialogue, but others you can unlock as decorations for the floating patty, the mobile, Krabby Patty-shaped dirigible that SpongeBob and crew use to explore Bikini Bottom. You'll unlock decorations like a statue of handsome Squidward, SpongeBob's diving helmet-shaped TV, and a framed picture of the one and only David Hasselhoff. Before diving into Titans of the Tide, it's a good idea to get to know a little bit about the titular Titans. The game focuses on a feud between King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman. As you explore Bikini Bottom, you'll find all sorts of evidence pointing to the long history of battles between the two. However, their beef comes to a head in the early moments of the game as the Flying Dutchman gets cut in line for half-off Krabby Patties by King Neptune. After a tense argument, Neptune flees while the Dutchman releases a horde of ghosts on the ocean to terrorize the people of Bikini Bottom. While the Flying Dutchman is a frequent character featured in the TV show, King Neptune makes far fewer appearances, making him one of the more intriguing aspects of Titans of the Tide's story. He rules the sea with power and arrogance, but by the time the game is done, more is revealed that provides a bit more depth to the King of the Ocean. As you explore Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob and Patrick encounter plenty of the Dutchman and Neptune's henchmen, with boss fights that paint an even clearer picture of the long-running feud between two people who, despite seeming to live completely different lives as a pirate and a king, might have more in common than they think. SpongeBob Squarepants Titans of the Tide takes place in Bikini Bottom, of course, which means you'll be visiting plenty of classic locations from SpongeBob's past. However, because of the destruction and chaos brought on by the fight between the Flying Dutchman and King Neptune, most locations have been altered. Places like Jellyfish Fields are still recognizable, but now are clearly out of whack. Jellyfish Fields, for example, has been covered in a layer of snow and ice, putting a twist on the classic SpongeBob setting. While you'll visit familiar places in Bikini Bottom, Titans of the Tide adds plenty of new, memorable locations as well, like Goldfish Island and Mount Bikini. There's plenty of content in the base version of Titans of the Tide. However, if you're looking for more SpongeBob, make sure to pick up the Plankton's Portal Challenge DLC and the Search for Squarepants DLC, which, if bought in the title season pass, add additional costumes for SpongeBob and Patrick, as well as challenge levels themed around the recent SpongeBob movie, Search for Squarepants. The DLC is great for anyone looking for additional challenge out of Titans of the Tide's platforming mechanics. I had a lot of fun digging into the challenge levels, trying to shave seconds off my runs while I mastered the mechanics, switching between SpongeBob and Patrick mid-air. So those are 5 things you need to know about SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. It's available now on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Just be careful when playing as Patrick that you don't get too distracted. After all, the inner machinations of his mind are an enigma. And for all things gaming, make sure to stick with IGN.